Hi, it's Kyle with Music is a Verb, and yesterday I listened to the track Come and Go by Juice WRLD featuring Marshmello. In the video I made, I created a list of qualities that I think they used to create that track. Today, I made a quick sketch of a track like theirs, and I'm going to show you how I built it up piece by piece to get something that sounds like Come and Go. Let's take a look. The first thing that I did was build the verse, because that's the first thing you hear in the song. I started with this polysynth that sounds like this. I stuck to a 4-chord loop the same way that the song Come and Go does, but I used a different 4-chord loop, this time opting in the key of E minor to go E minor, C, D major, A minor. I then played a little arpeggio on my synth and it sounds like this. Underneath that, I added a piano. And that piano has a filter on it. This filter makes the piano from sounding like this, full frequency and bright, and mellows it out to sounding like this. Take a listen. Still there, but sounds dark and moody. Underneath that, I added this halftime groove on a drum kit from a program called Battery. Sounds like this. And once again, that Battery drum kit has a filter on it. Almost the same type of filter I used on the piano. A low-pass filter to get rid of some of the brightness. Underneath that, I used my Mini Brute to add a sub-bass. Ooh, I'm sure you can hear that if you're wearing headphones. The next part of the song is the pre-chorus where the guitar comes in, but I'm actually going to jump to the chorus first, and I'll back up to the pre-chorus after that. The first thing that I did in the chorus was actually a little unconventional in building a track like this. I played on my electric drum kit a halftime drum groove, a just really simple halftime drum groove with 16ths on the hi-hat. Sounds like this. I left that in underneath to create some movement, and then I started adding elements on top of it. The next thing I added was a snare on 2 and 4. Here's 2 snare sounds that I layered. Underneath that, I created that bass drum that's going to really make it groove. It goes like this. I added 2 kick drums underneath, layered. This was the basics of the groove, but there's a couple things missing. I added a nice 8th note hi-hat to just keep it nice and even. And then I added this offbeat accent using a loop that I had in my library. I noticed that Marshmello really has that kind of driving sound. Add a crash at the beginning, like this. And I've got my drums for the chorus. All that's left is to add some bass and some chords. So, next came bass, came down here. I dialed in a sub-bass and a virtual instrument. Sounds like this. Same chord progression, right? So I'm playing E, E, C, 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 D, D, A, A, A. Same chord progression I used in the beginning. Nothing different there. I added in a chord part on top using a polysynth, same thing. And then all that's left is a big epic melody on top. I played that on my Mini Brute, and here's what I came up with. So after I have this big halftime breakdown or bass drop, I need to build up to it with the giant build-up they used. So I'm going to back up a little bit and show you how I created that. The build-up section of the song is dominated by two things. These offbeat claps on 2 and 4, and also this awesome rock guitar, right? So the first thing that I did was add in the claps. Sounds like this. After that, I played the guitar on those roots. Sounds like this. Already, it's starting to really sound like the texture of that song. You don't need much more going on. I did add a little bit of a drum group to create movement. Just add the very little bit of movement to that part of the song, especially because we don't have a vocal melody happening. After I had this set, we've got to create some movement. We've got to create that big build-up into the halftime chorus. In order to do that, let me move us over. I added in kick drums, 4 on the floor, that are going to get faster every time. So they start as quarter notes on every beat, then they go to eighth notes, and then they finally end up as 16ths. Take a listen. Quarters, gets faster, faster. And then a big old drop where we're about to hear the halftime. I added into that a filtered snare. That's this part right here. That's a part that helps build up that section. Take a listen to how it sounds on its own. When you add that in with everything else, you get this. Getting ready? So, that is my quick sketch of how to make a track like Juice WRLD's Come and Go. If you have other ideas for songs you'd like to see broken down like this, leave a comment below. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.